It's a worrying thing for him, I'm sure. It's in the back of his mind, but he's got a puncher's chance here. He's a terrific puncher. Dean Powell said he's been banging so hard in the gym. He really has got a puncher's chance here. And the way Morales knocked this guy out, and the way that Marco Antonio Barrera hurt him and troubled him, you know, it leads us to believe that Evatt has got a chance, certainly in the early rounds. The longer it goes on, the more you must favour Jones here, who's a fabulously fast boxer and puncher too.
Let's get the views of Duke McKenzie, a three-time former world champion. He's at ringside now talking to Adam Smith.
So, Richard Evatt, you've been sparring with him. Can he do Mission Impossible tonight?
It is a Mission Impossible, Adam, but I really feel he's got a genuine chance. He's physically very, very strong, and he bangs really well with the right hand, but he's technically a little bit limited. And against Junior Jones, who is world-class, could get exposed. But, like I say, he's got a puncher's chance, and he knows that. He knows there's only one way to beat Junior Jones, and he's got to just take the fight to him and just try and bully him out of the fight. Junior's got a fragile chin. As you know, he doesn't take the best shot in the world, so Richard's got a puncher's chance.
When I spoke to Richard Evatt, he said he's going to get inside him and smash every part of his body. Will he be able to do that?
Yeah, he honestly believes that, and he's been working in the gym. What we've been trying to get him to do is just roll in behind his punches, trying to get him not to walk in this straight line, which he has been doing, trying to get him under the jab and just work away to the body, which he's been doing quite well.
Thanks a lot, Duke, for now.
Junior Jones is an all-action fighter, can be fragile at times. Big moment in his career, appearing in Britain for the first time as a pro. Let's see if the reputation is worth all the hype. But Evatt could stop him.
Versus Ingle.
Here now at the M.E.N arena, and it's time for the first big one of the night. Former twice world champion Junior Jones in action at featherweight tonight against Richard Evatt from Coventry. You'll probably hear Evatt's got plenty of fans in here as well tonight. And our master of ceremonies for this one, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, now making his entrance to the ring, Richard the Tiger Evatt.
Richard Evatt wearing a Coventry City shirt on his way to the ring for what is really an audacious attempt to gate crash top world level. He's not much more really than a novice at domestic level, Evatt. He's only had 17 fights, losing one of them, and this chance comes only a matter of weeks after his only career defeat in Poland. He calls himself the Tiger, and he used to be a bit of a tearaway and a rough diamond. Says he's given people around him nightmares in the past. But I think all of that means the kind of character he is, he will not be fazed by the idea of fighting a big world name like Poison Junior Jones.
But certainly nothing in the build-up has led you to think that. He's been very up for this fight, sees it as a great opportunity, and that it is. He can really gate crash the whole boxing scene and make a really big name for himself in this one fight. They're playing the music from Rocky, and this really is going to be a Rocky story if he can come here and win this over Junior Jones.
He's got 1,300 fans from Coventry who've travelled up the M6 to be here and support him tonight. And I bet you the Coventry City players are watching in their hotel before the game against Everton tomorrow. Junior Jones, meanwhile, about to come out.
And now making his entrance to the ring, Poison Junior Jones.
It's the British debut for Poison Junior Jones. Why do they call him Poison? Well, because his real name is Ivy Jones Jr. Poison Ivy. And there's plenty of poison in those punches as well. He's got 45 wins. He's a two-time world champion at bantamweight and super bantamweight, and he's the only man ever to beat the excellent Mexican Marco Antonio Barrera, who we saw in frightening form here only last weekend. And if Barrera's that good, that says something about Jones.
Well, it doesn't bear thinking about, because Barrera was in absolutely fantastic condition, and his performance was superb last week. And this is the man who's twice beat him, and beat him in good style as well. So really, he has got something very special. They were talking about him as a Hall of Famer as a youth. But the thing that's let him down is he does have something of a fragile chin. And that, I think, is the only thing that lets him down.
This is the tale of the tape for this one. Jones is older by 3 years, Evatt at 25 years of age. Height and reach advantage significantly for Junior Jones here, both inside the 9-stone limit. Evatt's trained very, very hard, as you'd expect. And these statistics really just underline the huge gap in class and experience on paper between the two fighters, though Evatt at his level does have a very good knockout ratio, down bottom right there, 82%, but at a much, much lower level.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Manchester Evening News Arena here in Manchester, England, where tonight Barry Hearn and Charles Muniz of Matchroom, in association with Prince Promotions, along with your King of Beers, Budweiser, the Genuine Article, present World Championship Boxing for your entertainment. This bout is sanctioned by the BBBC General Secretary John Morris and the IBO President Ed Levine. IBO supervisor for this contest at ringside, Frank Brunette from the USA. Timekeeper for this contest is Colin Roberts. Judges scoring the bout on a 10-point must system will be Harry Davis from Canada, Roy Francis from England, and Don O'Neill from the United States. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from England, Mr. Paul Thomas. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBO Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the tiger trunks and weighing 8 stone, 12 1/2 pounds, or 124 1/2 pounds. In 17 professional bouts, he has 16 victories, 14 by knockout, with only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of Coventry, England, presenting Richard, the Tiger, and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trimmed with black. His weight, 8 stone, 13 1/4 pounds, or 125 1/4 pounds. In 49 professional bouts, he has 45 victories, 26 by knockout, with 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Brooklyn and New York, USA, here is the 4-time world champion, Poison Junior Jones.
Well, this could be one of the big mismatches of all time, or one of the great sensations.
Okay.
Paul Thomas, the referee here.
Yeah. Okay. I've spoken to you both in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Give me a good, clean contest. Okay, best of luck. Touch gloves.
Yeah, where's lower? Where's lower?
But
Jones making some point. I couldn't quite understand what that was. Jones, who grew up amid a very tough neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, surrounded by problems of drugs and violence, but he says it isn't neighborhoods that make you tough, you're born tough. He's got a big punch. Evatt has to go for it, you feel. He can't outskill Junior Jones. He must try to put him under pressure. He's got massive support here. Good body shots early from Jones. There's a right hand there from Evatt that got home. Good looking shot, and he just shot a little glance at the referee, Jones, for some reason there, as if he was distracted. Oh, right hand, sending Evatt through the ropes. He's never mixed at anything like this high-flown level. Richard Evatt. Evatt in the tiger skin trunks, remember.
Well, you can see what Evatt's going to do. He's going to try and force this right from the start. He's got to try and really let Jones feel the power he's got. He is strong, does pack out a good punch with either hand, and he's got to try and rough Jones up, not let him be comfortable in there.
Good right cross as they held on in close there from Jones. Does have these height and reach advantages here as well. Evatt getting his gloves up well. He'll need to have a tight defence here. He's trying to bustle and pressure Jones, and that has to be the right tactics for him.
Jones is boxing well behind the jab, and then a couple of nice left hooks, picking his punches well.
Good defence, though, by Evatt. Then he looked a bit disorganised as he was clubbed around that tiger-style haircut by the right hand of Jones.
Well, he's pushing forward with that much momentum. Jones is just sidestepping him, really pushing him off balance.
Jones, who was beaten in 4 rounds by both Kennedy McKinney and Eric Morales in world title fights in recent times, though he is coming off a win over a former NAS opponent, former world champion Tom Boom Boom Johnson. That was on points, and that would probably have lifted his confidence.
Well, Evatt keeping those hands very high.
Oh, a right hand and a left, and he's got Jones down in the opening round. Can you believe this?
5, 6, 7.
Amazing. Richard Evatt, the unsung Coventry fighter, has Junior Jones on the floor, and listen to the crowd here now. He looks on dodgy legs here now. Jones. Evatt could be on the brink of something quite astonishing.
Well, a terrific round for Evatt here. Good punches landed. He really has got Jones hurt in there.
A little bit swollen underneath the left eye, Evatt. He won't worry about that now. He just has to go hunting. And they're swapping blows here, and what an argument. Oh, what a round for Richard Evatt. That was memorable. Incredible.
He's took our breath away for a little bit. He's come out, as you said, and he's unsung. He just really hasn't cared about the reputation of Jones. He's really went straight to him with hands held high, clubbing right hand there as Jones almost sat on the middle rope, and then Jones just fell forward on his knees.
That is the big hope for Evatt here. There was always this little chance, because he has occasionally looked fragile around the chin, Junior Jones, for all his class at World Championship level.
10 seconds, corners.
A good right hand and a little left hook just got round the guard there, and Jones just slumped to his knees.
All those fans who've travelled from Coventry are on their feet now, wondering what is going to happen here in round 2. Richard Evatt trying to make a Rocky story turn to reality.
With a decent punch for Evatt. He's swarming in, not trying to give Jones any room, and to try and get his own power punches on.
Oh, after the body and the left hook, and he's on wobbly legs again here. Junior Jones, he did a silly dance then. Evatt knows he has the power to maybe get this job done. Good defence by Evatt too, taking a lot of the attempted comeback by Jones on the gloves. His defence looks open, doesn't it, Jones? He's letting his gloves down, his chin's out to dry at times.
It really is. He looks as if he's panicking in there. I think that the strength of Evatt is really making him think, and he's just panicking a bit. And that's giving Evatt the room to get his punches on.
So far, this could not have gone better for Richard Evatt, even in his wildest dreams, as he gets in with these clubbing right crosses again.
It was two very good right hands went in there, and Jones is looking to hold and make it messy, just buy some time.
Has he caught Junior Jones at just the right moment? It's entirely possible now.
Well, it's really a good effort from Richard Evatt, but he's got to keep himself together. He's got to remember that high guard when he comes in.
Just a bit marked up underneath one eye, Evatt. Nothing too serious. Just trying to line up the nexus, and another big right goes there. At times, Junior Jones, for all his pedigree, has a non-existent defence. Can Evatt sustain this, though?
Well, that's the fact that when he comes in, he can't leave himself open. Got to keep those hands nice and high. Jones is quite a fast puncher, gets good leverage into them. But Evatt closing the distance down well.
What an amazing performance this is so far from the man who works with his dad sometimes on the building sites in Coventry.
Again, Jones the one who's looking to hold whenever Evatt gets close.
Good body shot though from Jones. He still looks quite fresh and has come back. Oh, two punches after the bell by Jones, who has to apologise, but he certainly meant them. They were there by design.
Yes, he was trying to get a little advantage right at the end there. Junior Jones trying anything from an experienced bag of tricks. Good left hook from Evatt.
He rocked him with that, didn't he?
Yes, he did. The legs have looked unsteady numerous times. There does look hope here for Richard Evatt, but he's got to keep things together. He has found out now that he can hurt Jones.
It's a question now, really, of whether Evatt can keep up this level of performance.
Yes, he needs the intensity, and he needs to always remember to keep those hands up as he comes in.
But all this 9 months after a scare over a brain scan led to Evatt being suspended for a while. Is this about the punches after the bell at the end of the previous round?
Yes, he said just when the bell rings, he wants him not to do that again. That was a little naughty from Jones.
Here's round 3. They're fighting for something called the IBO featherweight title. Right hands, dangerous looking shots here from Junior Jones. Evatt in here, remember, with the only man to beat Marco Antonio Ferreira. Getting a bit rough as they work on the inside, and Evatt making 1 or 2 complaints to referee Paul Thomas.
Well, he's certainly, this is 3 times Paul Thomas has had to have a word with Jones. I think his patience will be running out with the tactics of Jones, trying to buy time. Looking at it, you can see him holding in there. He's not giving Evatt any room to work.
Evatt trying to find his way in behind the left jab and then let go with the very dangerous looking right hand that Duke McKenzie was telling you about, Duke having sparred with him. More holding from Jones, who's trying to deny Evatt the room to get some leverage into those dangerous punches. Right hand from Jones looks dangerous, but nearly all the time Junior Jones is being forced onto the back foot by Evatt.
This is a bit better from Jones now, trying to find combinations in there as Evatt comes forward.
His 50th fight tonight for Junior Jones. He'll have encountered just about every style during that time, and maybe the old computer is working away there as he tries to make sense of what Evatt's doing, and maybe he will work it out. Maybe he's just coming here taking him a bit lightly. He was a bit dismissive about him in an interview we did earlier this week, saying he's a strong kid, but if they're looking to catapult him to world level with me, forget it. Well, it's looked different in the ring, hasn't it?
This has been a messy round, not that many good scoring punches. They're falling into each other, and Jones, as soon as they get there, looking to take the arms of Evatt and just not let him work.
One more warning. Junior Jones is told by the referee, and then I'm going to deduct a point. He has been trying it on one way and another. Well, in the past, Poison Junior Jones has been described as a bit like Tommy Hearns at the lighter weights, always exciting. And here's the real hitman. Isn't it magnificent to have him fighting in Britain at long last? But how much does he have left at 40? It's a tough one for him tonight against former world champion Nate Miller. Says 60% of his fan base is British. So many letters said he has to fight here, and we can't wait to see him, basically.
10 seconds, corners.
Looking at the punches there, very tight. Not a great deal of it, just not a great deal of it. Just Evatt, a few more there in total.
Here's the fourth round. You did feel that if Evatt had any kind of a glimpse of a chance in this fight, it was early. Swollen underneath the left eye, Evatt. You'll have to hope that doesn't start to close up for him. Good hook spot from him. A little bit of bravado and machismo from Jones. Is Jones a bit rattled by all this, do you think?
I think he is. I think he's just taken him by surprise, the roughness and the strength of Richard Evatt.
We're now seeing more of the grueling close quarter combat. Just untidy. A lot of holding going on, notably by Jones. Oh, there's a right hand there. Evatt just looking a little disorganised for a second there.
Come on, Jones, got the holding.
Yes, he's walking in, Evatt, but he's not getting his punches off. Nice right hand from Jones, looking for that real roundhouse right, just to get round the guard of Evatt.
Due to go 12 rounds, this. But will it? Well, Jones has worked out a kind of battle plan. He's just going to hug and hold on in close there to deny Evatt any kind of space to get up with those hooks.
But Jones is stopping Evatt being as effective as he was in the first couple of rounds.
Oh, great left hook, and he's down, is he? No! Looked for a moment as if he was going to go down. Junior Jones over on those far ropes. Somehow he seemed to bounce off the second rope and up again, but it was a left hook and it really had him in trouble. Great shot from Evatt. He was wide open for it again.
His knees just dipped there.
Point deduction here from Junior Jones for all the holding. Well, he had warned him. He said, look, I've told you so many times. Well, we're getting full value here. Oh, right hand. this time from Evatt. But look at Jones come, there's another left hook. It's some terrific action here.
Well, this is good action. Evatt prepared to take punches to get his own on. His are having the better effect, but Jones is getting a few more on in this round.
And this fight, remember, being shown too in America on their boxing channel, HBO, and Evatt was told by the boss Lou DiBella, look, I like your tiger skin. If you put on a performance, you can become big in the States. What a performance he's putting up. No matter what happens now, this has been a tremendous effort by Richard Evatt. And he's winning at the moment. He has to be significantly ahead.
Yes, he's certainly ahead. Jones has done some decent work in the last 2 rounds, but Evatt does look very dangerous in there. Every time he gets through, you just seem to sense the strength go out of Jones. There's that left hook, his knees just dipped. He looked as if he was gonna go down, but he just saved himself there on it looked like the bottom rope.
There was the right hand, which again, those legs look as if they're made of spaghetti sometimes. Fifth round, Tommy Brooks, the famous trainer over there with Junior Jones in the corner, complaining to the referee about the point deduction, says, what about Evatt's low blows? And it's all part of the byplay that goes on, everybody trying to make a point.
Well, that's I'm giving it Evatt starting this fight very well. And with the point taken off, I would have had that an even round, but giving that to Evatt 10-9.
Well, if Evatt wins this, there'll be talk of getting him in the ring with Nassim Hamed, providing he prevails tonight, of course. The left hook is a real honey punch in there for Evatt.
Evatt just looks so focused, so intent on getting to Jones and inflicting damage. He really is looking very strong in there.
Oh, and he hit Jones there while he was down. Jones is infuriated by that, and I think there has to be a point deduction for Evatt there, because Jones was on the floor when he hit him. Well, he's got away with that, I think, don't you?
I think he has.
Oh, he should have had a point deduction.
He should have had a point. I think he was just trying to get even for some of the bad work. And let's face it, Jones has been the one who's looking to foul and come out with a bag of tricks. Never was just looking to get his own back, saying, listen, I'm here as well.
Look at these exchanges here now. Toe-to-toe slugging. It's a real thriller, this one. A great left hook again from Evatt, who's managing to soak up Jones's power. If anybody's going to go, you'd have to say at this stage, it looks more like Jones.
Well, this is turning into a real brawl. They're content to stand and trade punches. It's making for a very exciting fight, and Evatt still looks dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you something, they might never have heard of him before tonight. They will have done afterwards. He's made his name tonight, Richard Evatt, and probably on both sides of the Atlantic.
Good right hand there from Evatt. Still, this is good pressure from Evatt. He's not giving Jones a chance to get his breath.
I have to say that maybe the many hard fights Junior Jones has had are starting to catch up with him, judged on this performance as well as Evatt has performed. Another combination from him. Listen to the crowd. They're going wild here. They sense one of the great British upsets. Remember Kirkland Lang beating Roberto Duran and Lloyd Hannigan beating Don Curry. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
It really is. There's just such an intensity and a purpose about Richard Evatt. He really wants to win this tonight.
But there's still a long way to go and plenty of cards to be played. No chickens should be counted as yet. Now watch what happens here. He's on the floor, Jones, more or less.
Pushed him down. Jones hit a low blow there. we missed that. There was a little low blow. Evatt reacted on that. So I think that was a bit of all's fair.
Well, it's breathless drama, this.
But look at the action here, really standing toe-to-toe. Good punches there from Evatt. Jones comes straight back with shots of his own.
I mean, when you looked at this on paper, you can't believe you're watching this, can you, really?
You can't. This is the man that beat Barrera twice. It was hard to give Evatt any kind of chance, but he really has come in here, and he's just intent to win.
6th round. Evatt ahead. He's had Jones on the floor in the 1st round. He's shaken him up on several other occasions. I mean, the other encouraging thing for Evatt here is he's taken what shots Jones has thrown, and a lot of them have looked full-blooded ones. He's taken them and he's blocked a lot on his gloves. He's looked to have the better defense of the two.
He has. He's been caught, and as you said, he's never really flinched under any sort of firepower from Jones, which is a good indication of the chin of Evatt.
Oh, good right hand again. Gloves went down for a moment there from Jones, who had a kind of startled look on his face.
Well, he was almost complaining as if to say, you can't hit me then. And there was certainly nothing wrong with that punch from Evatt.
Evatt now has to maintain his composure and concentration, but there's been an intensity and focus about him here, as if he's thought about nothing else than this night for the whole of his life.
Jones is picking his punches quite well in retreat here. Evatt has to keep the hands up. He's getting through a little more in this round, Jones.
Oh, that's a lowish looking blow from Evatt. A bit south of the border, not too far south. Richard Evatt, who boxes for Barry Hearn's Matchroom organisation, and what an amazing triumph it would be for them. They'll be calling him Barry the Hitman Hearn, won't they, if Evatt does this?
They really will. We've seen her jump up and down a few times in excitement at this. He's obviously enjoying the performance from Richard Evatt.
Coming out. Now, Richard, watch them shots.
Evatt this time being warned about a bit of sly work.
This is better from Jones. He's just moving away from Evatt, giving himself a bit of room, then getting his punches off first.
Still having to box on the retreat. Oh, big right hand from Jones again. Evatt just soaked up the punch, almost like he was made of granite. Well, you've been hearing how Richard Evatt has been sparring with former world champion Duke McKenzie. He's here at ringside. He's talking now with Adam Smith.
Duke, what a wonderful, wonderful effort from Richard Evatt.
It's a terrific effort, but Richard knew from the outset what he had to do. He had to get inside, rough Junior Jones out, and land that big right hand, which is what he's been doing all night long. Just lost initiative a little bit in that last round. Junior Jones just out of that old man him out of the fight and used his little tactics and ploys. But Richard's got to punch his chance. Every time he hits Junior Jones on the chin, he's all over the place.
Has he got that chance still?
He's still got the chance, because with a couple more rounds to go by and Junior will get even more tired. The guy's dead on his feet, you can see that. Every time Richard hits him on the chin, he's all over the place. A couple more rounds and I think the fight will be over.
Thanks a lot, Duke.
Badly swollen under the left eye, though, Evatt. That's getting worse. Freddie King working there with Dean Powell in the corner. You can imagine how excited they must be. Is Richard Evatt coming from obscurity to top world class tonight? There's plenty, though, still to do. In fact, half the fight. Tiger skin trunks of the Coventry hopeful, and the silver of Poison Junior Jones, the two-time world champion. who's been given as much trouble as he can handle here so far.
Well, the 6th was certainly Jones' best round. He landed with some good punches. He's just getting his punches off quicker. Evatt's got to keep the guard high. He's getting tagged as he walks forward.
He's still landing some of his own, though, as he does it, Glenn.
Let go, no shot.
Oh, there's another right hand. Just lost concentration over there for a moment, Evatt. Cannot afford to do that. Good body shots here from Jones, who's maybe just moving into his best period in the fight. At the moment, anyway.
Yes, he's just starting to come alive. Jones, he's picking the punches well. Evatt not getting his punches off as quick as he should.
Tremendous atmosphere and air of expectancy from all of us here, just sitting at ringside.
Referee saying he doesn't want to take any more points. Jones still guilty of holding whenever Evatt gets close.
Just losing his balance there for a moment, Evatt. Gets his gloves up well to block the shots. He's had the better defence tonight. Oh, and there's a lowish one there. He winced Evatt on the ropes. It's a little idiosyncrasy of his, so he does that from time to time. He doesn't keep the traditional poker face of the boxer. Probably read too much into that.
It's hard to keep a poker face when you get hit below the belt.
There goes Evatt again. And listen to the roar from those Coventry fans, and there are a good many now. In fact, everybody in this arena who've joined them.
And a little bit of bravado there from Jones as he beats his chest as if to say, you didn't hurt me.
Well, follow this, Naz and Thomas, the hitman Hearns. They'll have to. Hitting the gloves with those jabs, Jones. That one didn't know, right through the middle. Backstage, Prince Nassim Hamed getting ready for the 12th defence of his WBO featherweight crown against Paul Ingle, who has half of Scarborough here supporting him tonight. There's the new trainer, Oscar Suarez from Puerto Rico. A big chance for him. He's done things, I think he says, in training he's never done before by way of physical preparation. But the proof of the pudding is in the ring performance.
Yes, it really is. He's got to come here and he's got to really prove himself and put himself back at the top of the ladder there for boxing.
In an arena where he's performed well on 3 previous occasions. What used to be the 9 Acts is now the M.E.N or Manchester Evening News arena here. 8th round with Richard Evatt in search of what would be a quite sensational win over Junior Jones, and still with every chance of doing it, though Jones is showing signs of coming back.
Well, my call, Jones is coming back into the fight. I've given the last 2 rounds, and Evatt just not getting his punches off as quickly, not closing down the room, and that's allowing Jones to get his punches off.
English judge Roy Francis scoring this with a Canadian and an American, by the way, if it comes to the scorecards. Oh, he's got him again! He's in trouble again there, that 2 right hands from Evatt. And Jones, once again, on shaky legs of jelly.
Well, he really looked as if he was going to go there, Jones. That was a big right hand from Evatt.
Look at him coming back here. Junior Jones is a man who once survived a bullet being fired at him at point-blank range. He's been in this kind of battle before, and he's prevailed in this kind of battle before. Evatt's had him going and on the brink on more than one occasion, but he hasn't quite been able to nail him. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, Evatt needs to get a powerful combination on. He's getting the single punch, which is really hurting Jones, but he needs the follow-on one, and that's just not coming for him.
Now the right hand, and look at Jones tap his heart as if to say, come on, you're going to have to do more than that, because I've got a heart that weighs twice my weight.
He's doing that, but I think he's also trying to just tap his heart. He wants more of himself. He's trying to grit his teeth and fire back.
This is Evatt's round again, though. A left hook and a right cross from him. He's too open, Jones. He's taking some audacious risks, really. Surely these heavy shots must take their toll. Evatt really is so close. And you have to say one thing, Jones has had periods where he's had success, particularly in the last couple of rounds before this one, but he's never ever even wobbled Evatt.
He hasn't. What a good round for Richard Evatt. He's got the tiger skin shorts and hair, but he's proven himself a little bit of a raging bull in there. Just great pressure, big punches, and that was a terrific round from Evatt.
Look at this. Oh, the right hand. Look what that did to the head. He didn't know where that had come from. It might have come from outer space for all he knew.
Well, what a shot, and really, they say fragile chin, but he really took a good right hand there, and he stood for it and come fighting back, showing great character and a terrific fighter.
Keeps beating his heart. You can't quite see it there. He had his back to the camera. And look at that in round 8, Evatt landing with not only 18 punches, but many of them big shots, heavy, meaty shots. Power punches, I think the American boys like to call them.
Big punches, and that was a good round for Evatt, getting himself just back into it. He just started to drop a couple of rounds, and now that was a good one to get his confidence going again.
I've got Evatt 3 points ahead. I don't know about you, Glenn.
Mine's exactly the same, 3 points ahead. And that's how I've come with it. 6 and 7 for Jones, and the last round for Evatt, 77-74. I have it at this point.
Junior Jones up against the man they call the Tiger, and at the moment he's being caught in the eye of the Tiger. Just sheer pressure, pressure, pressure all the time. And Jones has found it very difficult to engage any other gear other than reverse. He's had to look for counter shots all the time.
Jones really having to use the ring, whatever, getting his hands up, avoiding most of those counters, just taking them on the gloves.
Watch the rabbit punching, says Paul Thomas. The shot surrounding around the back of the neck. There's a lump over Jones's right eye now.
Nice combination there from Jones, 3-punch.
In these toe-to-toe exchanges, it's usually Evatt, you have the impression, who's just having the better of the argument. There's quite a nasty swelling. It's coming up like a sort of mini golf ball by that right eye of Jones. Sort of on the eyebrow.
Both scoring with punches in close there. See both men getting tired. Evatt trying to get his hands through, trying to work.
Said it before, in fights like this, what a tribute to the conditioning and preparation of these two fighters. And there'll still be another 3 rounds after this. That's good stuff. Punches through the middle from Junior Jones. Just looking a little leaden on his feet for a moment, Evatt there. Let's go backstage again, and this time the dressing room of the challenger, Paul Ingle. He's been a British, Commonwealth and European champion in his time. There's Steve Pollard. They do love that army-style get-up. He does all this Spartan training, doesn't he? Sometimes goes out on the moors and all that kind of thing, and lives out in a tent, dives off the end of the pier at Scarborough.
And then I say, diving off the end of the pier at Scarborough, you've got to be tough to do that. It's cold in there.
Well, they're doing a good job making sure that that swelling underneath the left eye that Evatt's had for quite a long time doesn't swell up anymore. They just touched gloves, a little sign of mutual respect at the start of the 10th round. And I don't know, how can I explain this? I think in football terms it's a bit like Northampton Town taking on Liverpool at Anfield and being close to getting a result. That looked like the gap in class going in. Good shots these from Junior Jones.
Well, Evatt can't afford to give Jones any room. He's still fresh enough to let combinations like that go.
He winged in some classy shots in clusters there, Jones.
Well, this is a very physical fight, really saps the strength. Evatt must have really trained so hard for this, excellent condition.
It's incredible. A couple of months ago, he went to Poland and lost to a guy called Smith Odum, Evatt. I mean, I just didn't realise he could be this good.
Now, it just shows you what he's done. He's seen the opportunity there, and he's obviously worked so hard for this.
Sometimes the hand speed of Jones just befuddling Evatt a little bit. Just getting off first, Jones, but you just wonder when the next punch is coming from Evatt that maybe gets Jones going again.
That's right, Evatt just not getting the punches off. He needs to start letting them go, just allowing Jones to get his through the middle.
It's a terrific contest, this. Particularly bearing in mind the kind of David and Goliath script.
Well, we said at the beginning he needed a Rocky-like performance, and hasn't he really found one?
Well, it doesn't matter what happens from now on. Evatt is going to emerge from this as a hero, but he'll want more than that now. He'll want the win.
Well, Jones just been busy and just landed with more clean punches in this round.
Yeah, he's done more, hasn't he? It's a funny sort of hooter sound coming from somewhere. I don't know what that is. Oh, there's the bell. Oh, what was that? Oh, it's a kind of howl around, as it's known in the trade, from the public address system. And that confused the fighters. It confused me.
Well, they both stopped. Luckily, both of them were confused, and one of them didn't take advantage. And he could have gotten some extra shots, and they were both confused. They both went back to their corners.
So they got away with 2 minutes and 55 seconds worth of work in that round, but I think they've earned that. And it's still going on. I wish whoever's doing that would stop it. It's very annoying. Not least of all to the fighters. Now, let's have a look at how many times they've actually fought in 12-round scheduled fights. Jones 13 times and Evatt twice. And when have they actually completed it? Jones has done 5 12-rounders and Evatt just the 1 so far in his career. He's had 12 wins inside 3 rounds, Richard Evatt, but at a much, much, much lower level than this. Here's round 11 of this. How are you scoring it, Glenn?
Well, I've got Jones coming back right into it now. I've just got Evatt ahead by 1 point. And really the PA system going quite wild now.
And this dramatic fight now having to go on with this concentration spoiling howl around, which obviously the technicians can't get under control. Evatt just slipping there for a moment. He has to somehow sustain the effort.
Two good right hands there from Jones. Evatt just standing for those two, got to move his head.
And just to add to the drama, I'm told all that noise because there's a small fire in one of the toilets. But the fight goes on. There's a bit of an inferno raging in the ring as well.
I was going to say that, a little bit of a fire in here.
Oh, good shots these from Jones, and looking open, Evatt. Bad moments for him, worse so far. Jones may not let him off the hook. Junior Jones is coming back strongly now.
For the first time ever, looking disorganised there. Obviously hurt with a punch.
Evatt just coming in straight lines and getting picked off a few times now. Jones getting his punches away quicker as the crisis passed. Seems to have slowed up in his reactions a little, doesn't he, Evatt?
Yes, he's open now, not getting the hand.
Oh, left hook! Massive left hook! And that might be the end of the dream in round 11. Oh, he's all over the place. Will he allow him to go on? Oh, he's going to stop it. It's over in the 11th round. Richard Evatt had such a glimpse of glory. But Poison Junior Jones found the poison in the punch to turn it around. But what a scare he had from Richard Evatt, who put on a heroic performance there, which will make him a major name in the division.
Yes, that was a terrific performance from Evatt. Really showed bravery and a commitment well beyond what we expected from him. And it really took a mammoth effort from Junior Jones to pull something out there. It was slipping away from him. A real commitment from Evatt, but then he walks on to a very good left hook from Jones.
Which has always been his best shot. There it was. Everything else, he'd been able to absorb it up until that round. He'd been in a bit of trouble earlier on. You wondered if he just got through that. But the reactions had started to slow, and he left himself open. And the world class of Junior Jones told in the end. And on my scorecard with Evatt still ahead, and only 1 round to follow that one.
Yes, I had it exactly the same, Ian, and it was a great effort and really sad to see him beaten like that. But he lost nothing in defeat, Richard Evatt. I think that the people of Coventry and his fans have got a lot to be proud of. That really was a David and Goliath effort. He went in there and really tried his utmost to pull a shock off, and he comes so close to doing it. But really just the class, the conditioning and the punch power in the end was that of Junior Jones's.
Tremendous fight. glory in defeat for Richard Evatt. And there'll be other nights for him now. People will be talking about him after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the official time, how about a round of applause for this young man whose hand will not be raised tonight, the man from Coventry, England, for an outstanding effort, Richard Evatt. The official time, 2 minutes, 31 seconds of round number 11, winning his 5th world title belt, the winner and new IBO Featherweight Champion of the World, Poison Junior Jones.
Well, the IBO belt doesn't matter too much. It's not generally recognized one, but what a fight, and Richard Evatt was so close. Now let's go and join Richard Evatt, who's with Adam Smith.
Well, Richard Evatt, so disappointing. What do you say?
I should have had him, I threw it away, like, but experienced though, he's a good fighter, it was a good fight. Hope there's a rematch.
You told me beforehand you were going to get close to him and smash every part of his body. It worked.
It did, yeah. I should have had him twice, but that's boxing. I'll be there again, don't worry about that.
When you had him down in the first round, what went through your mind?
Oh, I just wanted to finish him, that's the inexperience, you know, but he's a good fighter. He's one of the best pound for pound. I'll be back, don't worry about that. It's only my 17th, 18th fight, and he's a world-class opponent. I've gone from domestic to world-class, top world-class as well.
Did you feel you proved something to the boxing world tonight?
Especially Junior, he said he finished me in the 4th round. There's no one finishing me in the 4th round. I could have carried on then, but the referees, that's the referee's decision, you know. I should have finished him in the 2nd and the 3rd, but I never.
Talk me through the finish. Obviously so tired and...
I feel good, you know, I feel strong, but it's just inexperience, and I need to get more lateral movement. He's a better boxer than I, you know, but he ain't always much stronger. I found much stronger and I had a punch, you know. He was just a bit more quicker than me.
Bad luck, Richard, but I know we'll see you again.
Oh, definitely. I'll be the champion next time.
Thank you.
Well, even in defeat, the best night of Richard Evatt's career, and the top of the bill featherweight attraction is next here. It's time for the WBO World Featherweight title defense by Naseem Hamed, back in Britain, and the unbeaten Paul Ingle gets his big chance next.
Naseem versus Ingle with Budweiser.
We knew Richard Evatt had a puncher's chance tonight, but how close he came to delivering on it. Junior Jones down in the opening round, and that was only the shape of things to come. Jones in desperate trouble again in the 4th round, and he was also doctor point at that stage, and in the 8th, yet again stunned. But the knockout in round 11 equalized everything, and Junior Jones somehow has come out a winner in that fight. You were willing, Evatt, to do it, Barry.
Yeah, the whole way through. You know, we all expected him to get beaten, quite honestly. But I think we slightly underestimated his ability. This kid is a tremendous puncher. He's a very heavy puncher with concussive power in both hands. And I really think that given the chance, this has happened at the embryonic stages of his career, given the chance, he can win a world title again.
Jim?
Wonderful effort, and a reminder to me that the biggest asset a fighter can have is heart. With the ability to not to let the pain interfere with the ambition, and Richard Evatt showed that with an abundance tonight. Wonderful effort. Tiredness due to inexperience let him down. Jones had been in the trenches so often in the past, and that pulled him through, but a wonderful effort.
Next up tonight, it's the top of the bill. It's at featherweight, and it's for the WBO World Featherweight crown held by Naseem Hamed. 31 straight wins, all but 3 of them inside the distance. So, can Paul Ingle avoid becoming a statistic? That's the question for Barry McGuigan.
Disappointed and gutted for him. So close and yet so far. Could have won the fight, had the fight won. Just run out of ideas towards the end of the 8th round, and experience beat him. He'll come again.
What about the big one? Can